to VAFA Tragics. A huge weekend of football to get through. We're going to get right into it with Good Day, Bad Day in just a second. But before we do that, let's welcome the panel. It's a very good evening to Martin Kelleher.
Hey now, the dream is over. Hey now, the dream is over.
Marty, the dream's over for De La Salle. They're out of after a tremendous run. We've pumped them up for so long on this show, but
hang on, you have pumped them up for so long.
Yeah, I did.
The dream is over for you. You actually, I think you might have put your mortgage on De La.
Welcome to the show. Good to have you on board.
Thank you.
Will Barm, another delightful jumper you've got on tonight.
Thank you, Andrew. Yeah, the wardrobe's nearly out, so this is probably the last one in the kit.
And Brenton, man, the dream's over for St John's too.
It certainly is. But yeah, straight sets is not ideal. But congratulations to the parade. They were far too better on the day.
Into Good Day, Bad Day. Let's take a look right now.
Because you had a bad day.
Marty, kick us off with who had a good day and a bad day on the weekend.
Oh, look, I think there were a number of good days. I think if we look across the grades, because it was preliminary final day, but I really can't split between two of them, actually. And I'm going to say a good day for Parkside, first year back in the amateurs and a promotion straight away. But also, and I'll probably be pilloried if I didn't say this, St Kevin's seniors, the monkey is off the back, into the William Buck Premier for next year. A terrific performance, 19 games, 19 wins, really good. And my bad day is actually St Kevin's Old Boys Reserves. Started off the 18 and zip, percentage of 433 going into the second semi-final, and well, the wheels fell off.
Well, it was quite interesting. The scenes when after the game, when old Melburnians who'd beaten St Kevin's in that final tried to rally up the St Bede's Mentone boys as they came onto the ground to play St Kevin's in the senior matchup. It was quite a comical side and a great part of amateur football, really.
Yeah, look, I agree. I think that is great, isn't it?
I guess one of St Kevin's side had to lose a final.
Oh yeah.
It wouldn't be a year without St Kevin's losing a final
Oh,
somewhere
I'm
along
not
the
even
line.
going there.
Who had a bad day then? Oh, you said that,
Yeah,
sorry.
Scott Rezzies, yeah.
Yeah, Will, who had a good day and a bad day?
Well, my junior club Canterbury, the Canterbury Cobras, got over the line against Box Hill North quite comfortably in the end. It's their second year in the VAFA, so we're not competing here, the Parkside and Canterbury boys, but they've done very well, extremely well, coming from the Southern Footy League, and they'll be playing off against Parkside on Saturday. Yeah,
Good.
they had a great day and a bad day. I was at the Old Geelong Ormond game, and Old Geelong kicked themselves out of the contest. They were really good throughout the day, and they almost looked like they were running Ormond off their feet. But in the third quarter, they missed the first 5 shots on goal in that term. They had all the momentum. In particular, there was one guy, number 15, Nicholas Hardy-Grant. Don't like to single out players, but he got 2 25-metre penalties.
Do it anyway.
And
I think you just have.
and he missed everything, kicked it out in the full.
Oh.
So it was a bad day for Old Geelong.
Brenton, who had a good day and a bad day?
Good day for me is the Mason Leos. After their excellent year and finals agony last year, they have won their promotion into Div 2 in 2016 in the grand final spot after their thumping win against the Aquinas.
2 sides going up to be champion teams through to grand final.
It's not bad.
It's pretty good stuff. And who's your bad day?
Unfortunately for me, bad day is St John's Old Collegians. Straight sets, losing both finals by 5 goals is not ideal, and I'm fine. You can't carry injured players into finals, and you need continuity in performance and personnel, and we just haven't had that since probably the middle half of the year, which has been disappointing.
That's why we've got you and Marty on the desk, because you don't hold back when you're talking about your own teams, which is
unlike someone else to my left.
Well, you sugarcoat everything, Will. Good. I'm going to kick off a bad day for Marsland. They lost their 6th final in a row. They've been straight sets the last 2 years, and they lost an elimination final 3 years ago. A big game against Monash Blues. They've been the pace setters all throughout the home and away season. They lost badly to Monash Blues. Great result for Monash Blues, of course, getting promotion up to Premier B. Also, Old Ivanhoe had a pretty poor one, but Premier C running double there with the bad day. Kicking 2 goals for the afternoon, being held scoreless for 2 quarters against Old Halebarians, who finished 4th. The Hoes would be pretty disappointed with that outcome, knocked out of the finals. A good day for me, I think it was, on the weekend. Old Trinity, I think I said, would pinch it by 7 points. So If no one else is going to congratulate me, then I may as well congratulate myself. Got that one right. The T's getting home by 7 points in the Coast, but also West Brunswick. On a more serious note, congratulations to them. 2 promotions in a row. And that leads us into the discussion on the weekend, kicking it off in Premier. That comeback from Old Trinity over St Bernard's, it should say on the running sheet there, St Bernard's. St Bernard's, bad one for them as well. They've lost 3 finals in a row under Rocky now, Marty.
Yeah, and that was a particularly bad one, I think, given the conditions. Look, the conditions weren't ideal, but with a breeze, well, not a breeze, but almost a typhoon favouring one end, to go goalless in the first quarter is not ideal. And I think that if we reflect back 12 months ago, they actually didn't kick well in a final last year and kicked themselves out of it, and they've done the same again on the weekend.
Also, during this year, it has plagued them, and we have discussed it on this show that bad kicking is bad football, and it's been right through Premier, but you don't take your chances, and the other side does, and it just swings the momentum totally out of your favour.
Agreed. And, for Trinity to kick 6-4 in the last quarter, that's an outstanding achievement by them.
They've done it all year as well, though, haven't they?
Last quarter specialists, yeah.
Yeah, but then what was St Bernard's doing at that particular time? I mean, if they were trying to lock it down to hold on to what they have, surely you go...
18 men behind the ball?
Well, go up the other end and kick a goal.
Yeah.
Oh, well, if you can. I mean, which they found quite difficult to do on the weekend. But look, I'm sure that they'll rectify that. Well...
They got Blues, so they've beaten twice this year, of course, by 5 points on both occasions. Blues were hampered by injuries in both of those performances, and Blues would be full of confidence after they did pretty well in handling De La Salle, which had been the juggernaut coming into September.
The juggernaut?
Yeah.
No, I think you just ran out of... You would run out of steam. You'll run home with 9 wins out of the last 10, and then it saps a lot of energy out of you.
No, look, I think we're taking away from Uni Blues. I thought Uni Blues were terrific yesterday. I thought that, look, we made some notes and we talked about it at the end, just generally at the end of the game, was their bigger bodies. Rippon, Muggov and Young were outstanding in the middle of the ground for them. They also had Jack Watts, who permanently camped himself down at the scoreboard end of the ground, hit at Sports Cover. Kicked 6, marked everything that came his way for 4 quarters. And I think... whilst Jack's was a great performance, I think it was really the ability of the on-ballers from Blues to win clearances, get the ball going forward, which then forced D-Lar to start their attacks off half-back. So whilst Sam Williams was outstanding for D-Lar, I thought the ability of the on-ballers from Blues to move the ball forward was terrific.
Their ability to win a contested ball has been fantastic for 6 weeks.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
with them and St Bernard's, they play a contrasting style. So if they can win the ball on the inside and beat St Bernard's up around the ball, they're going to go a long way to beating them.
They were very good.
The other important battle, I think Cam Williams shaded Anthony Ferraro in the ruck, possibly shaded him just, and
certainly nullified his
influence, but also shaded him. I think in around the ground disposals and marks as well. I think he just was more prominent in terms of his around the ground work.
Look, I think that's a fair call. I hope Slop doesn't see me say that, but yeah.
He's a big boy. Will, just back to Old Trinity though, the way that they play with their running and hand pass and carry game, it certainly helped them running into the breeze, which you have to do when you're playing in the conditions that affected both matches on the weekend.
That's right. I mean, you can't just give up the ball, kick long down the line. You've got to just feed it amongst yourselves and play in numbers when you're going into the wind. And Trinity are so good at that because they're a young side. They're super fit.
So three of the 4 sides in the finals were
running
carry sides, and that's not saying that St Bernard's don't do it, but I think that if we look across the board, neither of the 2 remaining sides, Blues or Trinity, neither of those 2 sides have 2 or 3 dominant forwards. What they have is they have 1, maybe a second medium-sized marking player, but they rely upon loads of numbers in and around the ball.
Congratulations to Old Trinity to their first ever Premier Section Grand Final. They'll play in that in 2 weeks' time at Princes Park. Icon Park as it is now. On to Premier B. Will, St Kevin's won a final for the first time, which Marty mentioned at the top in his good days, for the first time in 10 years. Their first finals win after 9 consecutive outs. So a great result for Scobs.
I mean, it is. It's a fantastic result for them and one that is a long, long time coming. They've lost how many preliminary finals over the past 10 years? I think they've run out of fingers for that. And but it wasn't without a struggle. I mean, they were only 5 points up at one stage in the last quarter. And it wasn't until Phil Edgar, I think, steadied the ship and Anthony.
Anthony Plugger took that
That's right,
big
Plugger.
mark.
Plugger Lynch.
Plugger Lynch.
And he's gone back, steadied himself, really steeled himself, didn't he? And it was almost as if he said, look, I'm going to, as the captain, I'm going to have to actually make a statement here. It's now that leaders stand up. He did. It was a terrific mark.
Against Rat Wintle as well.
So it's a really good, strong, powerful mark. Went back, and the monkey was off the back.
So
and I'd suggest there was more relief. Really.
St Pete's had their opportunities, and
very
from what I hear, they're very buoyed by their performance. And if they can get over OMs this week, which will be, they shouldn't take them lightly. They shouldn't get complacent, but they're looking forward to their rematch if they get there in the grand final.
Brenton OM's beat Old Brighton, so Old Brighton not able to bounce straight back from after being relegated from Premier last season. They'll have to have another year in Premier B, but a good win for OMs.
It certainly is, and I think both sides, by their own admission, would be. They've been plucky this year, and I think they. Old Brighton started the better. They had the better of the first quarter, but then just couldn't maintain the rage, and OMs just gradually ground them out and ground out a very good win.
In Premier C, it was, as we mentioned there, the wins for Monash Blues over Marsland and Old Haileyburyans thrashed Old Ivanhoe on the Sunday. What do we read out of Old Ivanhoe's showing, first of all, as they finish off their year?
I think first, Old Ivanhoe have been a little disappointing in the second half of the year. Their first half was definitely better than their second half, but from what I hear, Old Haileybury, who I potted on his show last week, they had a few players come back and they stacked their side a bit. Brett Voss came back into their side and they were just too powerful for Old Ivanhoe. They kicked 2 goals for the day, which is pretty disappointing in a final.
It's a good effort, isn't it, when you consider that they scraped into well, not necessarily scraped in, but
they were a game in, but the percentage was below 100.
Yeah. Which doesn't bode well, because when they've been beaten quite badly. And we did talk about this last week, saying that they hadn't actually beaten anybody
in the top 4.
Yeah. And to then come out and comprehensively.
No, it was a very, very good effort. And in regards to Marsland, after allegedly arresting players in round 18, hasn't really worked for them because they got pants by Monash Blues.
Allegedly, do you know that they did?
No, I don't know for sure, but that's the rumour on the rumour mill, on the grapevine.
That's why the word allegedly.
That's right. Always use allegedly.
Allegedly.
If I learnt nothing from media law, that's what you always use.
I've got to say, it doesn't really look good for Marsland. I mean, they're going to come up against a red-hot Old Haileyburyans, and they haven't won a final in 6 encounters, I don't think. And so for them, I mean, the monkey is clearly on their back. Unlike St Kevin's, who have shaken it, Marsland are going to come into the game under red-hot pressure.
But are we not selling?
We're selling Monash Blues short.
Short,
yeah. I think we are.
That's true. Yeah,
Paul Groves, of course, the St Bees Mentone Tigers, a premiership player and former state player, has done a great job at Monash Blues. They've been knocking on the door the last couple of years in finals, the Blues, and they're now up to Premier B, which is a great result for them.
Yes, no, it is good.
Division 1, the preliminary final took place. You said you were there. Will, you can tell us about Ormond beating Old Geelong.
I was there with my good friend Marty, who was behind the canteen, selling the best pies in the VAFA at Waverley Oval.
Pass that on.
Anyway, it was, again, as I mentioned earlier in the show, Old Geelong have played in several of the, I think 3 of the past 4 prelim finals, and they've lost all 3 of those ones. So they've come third 3 of the past 4 years, and they had every opportunity over the weekend to win the game. Because Ormond weren't fantastic. I mean, when they needed to, they stood up, and Kelleher down back, and Nick Edwards, one of the youngsters, and Fasoulis, who's another youngster, they all played pretty well. But overall, I thought Old Geelong were using the ball particularly well through the off the flanks. They just could not convert.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that's a fair assessment. I thought both sides almost appeared nervous. I mean, obviously it's a prelim final. They are nervous. There's massive stakes there, but neither side really grasped the nettle, so to speak, to actually dominate proceedings. Old Geelong would be disappointed because they certainly had opportunities. I mean, even with the last 6 or 7 minutes to go, there were still opportunities. Ormond almost fell across the line.
Yeah.
While we're on Division 1, we better get a tip, because now Ormond come up, they get another chance to play Q in the grand final. It will take place next weekend. Marty, you've seen obviously Ormond go through. Haven't seen much Q. They've shown they can win without Brazzali. There's rumours that he'll get back into the grand final side, possibly the expensive Balm.
Yeah, I think it's Balm out, Brazzali in.
I must admit, I did see the Balm, the Barminator on the ground on Saturday, running around in the Magoose for Q. There was lots of pointing, Will. Lots of pointing, lots of directing traffic.
I'm a prolific pointer.
Who's going to win, Q or Ormond?
Look, I'm going to go with Q. Not with any great confidence, but I'm going to say Q mainly because I think that Ormond looked quite tired towards the end of their game, and if anything, that would actually hold them back. It was quite a physical and it was quite a quick game towards the end.
Yeah.
Brenton Will will take it. You're going for Ormond. Brenton, who?
I'll go for Q, the swift-moving Q, over the contested ball Kings at Ormond.
Yeah.
They may beat you up around the ball, but I think you'll get
Yeah.
them on the outside.
Q for 3 in a row for me as well. Be a great story if the Bears pinch 3 in a row. We'll take it as read. You've got the Bears.
Are you picked? Are you in? Have you cemented your spot?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
It's a big week.
Big week on the track.
We'll move on
on
from
the track.
that.
So who do you want to plot?
No one.
Division 2.
One more.
Division 2. Old Paradians have earned promotion after they beat St John's. It was a great result for Paradians, winning by 5 goals, and they will play Ivanhoe in the decider. Brenton, I presume you had a look at this one. And
You presume wrong because I was not there. I was
Okay.
working on Sunday, unfortunately, and I've copped a barrage at 6:30 this morning. I copped a phone call from a few of the lads who are still up and about. But yes,
Mad Monday.
Mad Monday, Sunday rolled into Mad Monday, and they're probably still at the pub right now. But yes, Paradians, after 3 years in Div 2, have gained promotion into back to Div 1 in 2016, and they were far too good for us on the day. We were up by 4 goals early in the second quarter, then lost by 5, which is not a good sign. And Dave Boundy and James Candelakis guided the ship, and it's going to be a tough ask though to get over Ivanhoe, which simply their system is way too good for every side in Div 2 this year, and I think they'll get over the
Interesting
line.
one with Ivanhoe. Does Paul Harris play in the
No,
grand
he doesn't.
final?
No.
He's been playing a few games this year.
Has he?
Yeah, as
Okay.
a playing coach. I wonder if he's managed to get his name into the final 22.
I think they've been travelling not bad without him, so I don't know if you mess with winning form. I think he's done a very, very good job with them over the summer, and they've got them playing exceptional football, and I think you just stay on the sidelines and win
Ivanhoe,
football.
of course, as a club, broke through for a first premiership of any kind in 27 years last year when they won an under-19 flag. So you can take it as it's at least 30, 35 years since Ivanhoe, senior side, have won a premiership. So a real opportunity for them, Marty.
Yeah, look, and I think, and I tend to agree with you, Brent. I think that they'll actually go through.
Yeah.
And winning form is good form. They've been dominant, really, haven't they? For that second half of the season.
They
I
certainly
think
have
that
been,
they'll
yeah.
keep going.
And the thing for me is the personnel hasn't changed really from last year to this year. It's just the way they play. Their system is just
Well, they brought a couple of kids through
yeah.
from last year's
They
under
have a
19s.
couple, but no wholesale changes or anything like
No.
that. But just the way they play.
Will, who are you tipping there?
I've got to go with Ivanhoe. I mean, they've got a good feeder system with the under-19s, and I think they'll do well next year as well in Div 1.
In Division 3, there was a couple of preliminary finals. Emmaus St Leo's, as Brenton, I think you mentioned in your good day there,
did.
have won a 17th straight win, and they go through to promotion and a grand final, which is a great result for them. They beat Aquinas quite comfortably. Disappointing outing from Aquinas in that preliminary final, getting thrashed in the end. I think they only managed 4 goals for the day.
Yeah, it wasn't a great day.
And West Brunswick also jumped Hawthorn, I think at quarter time. It was 53-0 at quarter time there. The Hawthorn managed to work their way back into the contest in the second quarter, but before the Magpies went away from the Hawks again, as they did in the Division 4 grand final last year. So West Brunswick back-to-back promotions. They'll meet Emmaus St Leo's. Do they have any chance in the grand final, West Brunswick against Emmaus?
I'm a big fan of West Brunswick's system, and I am tipping them to win the game. I just think they've got a very, very strong back line, which will, again, Emmaus St Leo's have an elite forward line, but I think they've got the capability to stick with them. They just need to put the ball through the big sticks because they're an inaccurate side at the best of times. They kicked 7 goals, 10 in the first quarter. Even though they were dominant, it's still it's not a great habit to get into. So I'm going with West Brunswick.
Fair enough. Marty, who do you think will win that game?
I'll go with the Emmaus St Leo's. I think that their form across the year has been tremendous, and I think that they're primed.
Fair enough. And Brenton?
Animals for me.
Animals, yeah, I'm going to go with the Emmaus St Leo's as well. I think to win a premiership, then that'd be a great result for them, the Animals as well. One of the great nicknames as well in amateur football. Division 4, 2 prelims there as well. It was Canterbury and Box Hill North. After Canterbury surprisingly lost their first final, they bounced back with a win over Box Hill North. And as we mentioned, Parkside, who've back in the VAFA after a 12-year hiatus in the Northern Football League, or the Diamond Valley as it was, and they moved across there. They're back in the VAFA, which is great to see. And they've won through to a decider from 6th position, as Northern Blues did a couple of years ago in their first year of Division 4. So if you're coming into the competition, finish 6th and win your way through to a grand final. Seems the easy route, Marty.
That's the easy route.
That's the
Right,
easy
I
route.
must remember that.
Yep.
No, I'm going to go with Canterbury. I think at the start of the year they were most people's favourites. I think their form's been good. Yes, they had a hiccup a couple of weeks ago, but no, look, I'm going to go with them. I think they've got enough numbers and quality across the board.
Will, who do you like in this game?
Well, I think the big winners of this game are the VAFA. It's a fantastic story, poaching a couple of clubs across.
Poaching?
Yeah. But I think Canterbury will be too strong.
Not sure there's too much poaching going on.
I just hope there is. I love drama.
I like the idea of it being poaching. It's not poaching. I don't think they go actively out to seek clubs to come in. But anyway, and Brenton?
I'll go with Parkside, the fairy tale.
Fair enough. I'm going to go stick with the Cobras. They've done a fantastic year and they set themselves for this one, and I don't think they'll let themselves down. Quickly, maybe in a word, we'll go through the under-19 grand finals. St Bernard's will host, they won't host, but they'll be the home team against Old Zavarians, who won through in the prelim. St Bernard's under-9 Premier looking for back-to-back grand finals at that level.
Yeah, look, I think this will be a cracking game. Only 5 or 8 points in it last time in the second semi. I'm going to stick with St Bernard's though.
Yeah, I agree. It's going to be a fantastic game, and I'm an Old Zavs man, so I'm going with the Old Zavs.
I'll go the Snow Dogs. I haven't seen any under-19 football this year, but I'll go with your tip, Marty.
Right, the standard
It's your
under 19
wheelhouse.
Premier is absolutely outstanding. Really good fun.
And in all seriousness, if you do have a chance to get to an under-19 Premier grand final, it is one of the best games of junior football, and I reckon the AFL's not too far away, maybe raising the age and bringing under-19s back. I don't know, that's my feeling at least. So I think under-19 football's where it's at for your junior football.
You got a lot of pull down at AFL house? Just voice your opinion?
Just got a feeling. I've got no influence at all over the movers and shakers of the AFL. Under-19 Section 2, Parkdale Vultures and Caulfield Grammarians, a southern suburbs battle.
It is.
Who'll win this one?
I'm going to stick my neck out. I'm going to say Parkdale Vultures.
I love Parkdale as well. I'm a Parks boy, so go Parkdale.
Yep, I'll go
He's
Parkdale
an old
as well.
Zav, he's a kid boy, he's a Parks
Who are
boy.
you? Where haven't you been?
I'm a man of many
Football
faces.
journeyman.
Absolutely is. I'm going to go with the Vultures as well to win that one. Under-19 Section 3, Old Geelong versus Old Carey. Old Carey won through the prelim, beating Williamstown last week, or on the weekend.
They did indeed. They won. They won there, and Old Geelong though are going to turn back the clock and have a win there. Turn back the clock from last week, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I'm going to stick with Old Geelong. I think they've got some very good young players coming through, so I'm going to go with them.
I'll go the Panthers, just for you, Andy. Just a bit of
I better
joy down at
I better go for the Panthers, but I hear there's a few injury troubles at Pantherland, but hopefully they can get over those, and good luck to the boys in the grand final against Old Geelong. Under-19 Section 4, St Kevin's have stormed through to the decider in that competition against Peninsula. Who do we think is going to win that one?
Well, having seen all the sides in that, I'm going to go with Scob. I think their bigger bodies will be able to overpower Peninsula, who have been terrific all year, but I just think that Scob have got momentum on their side.
Now, by bigger bodies, I think Marty means there are a couple of older.
You have been
kids.
harping on this for quite a while.
They're strong-bodied. They're just monsters.
Matured.
Yeah.
They're matured.
And they do have a. I just think
Good
that
Catholic boys eating all this.
all the potatoes.
All those spinach.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going with St Kevin's. I think they'll win comfortably there.
Yeah, Scobs for me.
Love to go for the Pirates, but I think Scobs might win. And in the Colts, it's Ivanhoe again looking for another underage premiership against UHSVU Flemington. Who's going to win this one?
I'm going to go with Ivanhoe again, back to back.
Yeah, I'll stick with Ivanhoe and a clean Mad Monday for all those boys.
Yeah, Ivanhoe for me.
Ivanhoe as well. Great, we've been through the predictions of the grand finals. Not sure what Willie V is going to go with, but here he is with his predictions.
Yep, we're back here with Willie's predictions. I'm thinking of the rising star this week, and there are 5 options that are to be picked from. My pick is Seb Nicolosi from Old Trinity. He's quite a short centre-half forward. So of the 70s vintage, just a stubby centre-half forward running around, almost doing his own roving, but he's had a fantastic year.
I reckon he'd have you covered.
Oh,
What,
yeah.
in height?
Yeah.
No, I play cricket with him.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Yeah, he's a keeper.
Fair enough.
Not that I'm picking him because of that, but he's had a great year. And but all the young lads, we've had a magnificent year of the young boys coming through the system, and I think Seb's the pick of them. So that's my prediction for the week, seeing as we took the other ones.
Gosh, you've really put your neck out again.
Gone for the favourite again.
Yeah, very good. It'll be interesting competition. The Rising Star, of course, announced at next week's Woodrow Medal and VAFA Awards night. That's on the Wednesday night at Crown, of course. I think there are still tickets available. You have to get into Alley by tomorrow, Tuesday, to get that out. So by the time this goes to air, it's probably a bit too late. Marty Kelleher has his wine of the week most weeks. Let's take a look.
Shall I say that the wine of the week is actually that we get the show up too late to buy tickets? Well, let's start off with the actual product itself. So we're going to go with a new wine coming from McPherson, which is part of the Tabilk group. It's called Love You. In fact, it's actually should be known as We Love You. This is a Grenache Rosé. Now, Will, I'm sure that you'd like to know this. This is actually the fastest growing segment on the in the red wine market is actually
There you go.
rosé. So We Love You, Grenache Rosé, lovely, nice and spicy and cherry. So let's talk about some other things which were a bit spicy on the weekend, and that's supporters' behaviour. What we do love about the amateurs is we do love that supporters do get behind the goals and they cheer on their mates. They get involved with their club that they've played for and been part of, whether it be an old boys or whether it be the community. However, we do need to be mindful that there is a line that we should not cross. Whilst banter is fine, a tirade of abuse filled with all of the usual adjectives, we don't need to see. That's not what our competition's about. After all, we have been fostering family football since 1892. Let's remember, families are more important than your diatribe that generally involves foul language and that really nobody wants to hear.
Here. Well, my voice got through it. We got through another one. I think there's one to go here on the Tragics. Great to have you all on board again. Good luck to you, Will, in selection and all that sort of thing with the Bears this weekend.
Looking forward to his wardrobe next week. You can't top that.
Looking forward to whatever you go. It's a cost. It's a nice jumper.
Thank you, Andrew.
Marty, well
Thanks,
done.
Andrew.
Do ourselves. Commiserations to all the boys.
Oh
there.
no, look, it's been a great. It's been 3 weeks ago. We were on death row, but it's been look, it's always disappointing to lose, but great finish.
Brenton, you better get to the pub and join your mates on their Mad Monday celebration.
I should get down.
That's all we've got time for. We'll see you again next time on the Tragics.
VAFA TV at vafatv.com.